she stood up. She like, okay. She opened the door. Now, she ain't just opened the door. She opened the door and it slammed and hit against the wall. And she walked up to this fucking lady. She said, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bitch. It's Riyah. Welcome back to my motherfucking channel, and it is Ryday, niggas. It's Ryday. Welcome back to another Ryday. But to stay up to date with me, you guys saw all my information for social media in the beginning of the video. So you know, we'll follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Let's get right into the rider of the week. And last week I asked you guys to send me boy riders because like I have a lot of girl riders, but I know a lot of boys watch me too, like young boys. So like you have to send me your pictures too. So somebody sent me a picture on Snapchat. He was really cute. He was a little cute face. And you know, let me walk the motherfucking way before somebody have a hissy fit. Oh my god, you can barely see the rider face. Oh my god, she in the way. Oh my god, bitch, shut up. So this is Israel Garcia, and I hope you can see his nice little face right here. He sent his snap to me to be a rider of the week, and I'm probably fucking fading out here. That's why I want to be right here. There's no Israel right here, and it's just like, whatever. Thank you, Israel Garcia, for sending me your photo on Snapchat. You guys always know I'll be checking for my riders up there. But next week, I will be checking for my riders on Twitter. So you have to follow me on Twitty. You have to follow me on Twitter, and you have to use the hashtag RYDAYY. So RYDAYY, hashtag RYDAYY. And you could be doing that like up until next Friday. You can do that on Friday. You can do that Thursday night. You can do whatever you want to, as long as you hashtag RYDAYY so that I could find it, of course. But yeah, let's hop right into this story time. Today's story time was supposed to be about the time that I got stranded in New York, but I will do that story time like another time. But I decided to change it because I had a conference with AIDENS teacher and guidance counselor and principal, and it made me think about when I was in kindergarten. The reason why I remember this is because like it is scarred inside my brain. It made me think about the time my mother came to school and mushed the shit out of my kindergarten teacher, because people just be so fucking reckless with their mouths. So, but a little quick story time into a story time. Aiden was having problems at school, and I was getting like really annoyed with his teacher because the problems that he was having was like this big. Like he's telling other kids what to do, and like he won't stay in his seat. It was like little things. And so I had a problem with her sending me email every single day. It was like getting annoying. It was stressing me out. Her sending me emails basically saying how annoyed she was. So we set up the meeting, and what really got me annoyed was the fucking guidance counselor. I'm not gonna say her name, but it is what it is. Cause she basically was like, oh yeah, I sit with each of the kindergarten classes once a week, and I have 6 kindergarten classes. He's the only one that does this, that, and the third. And like, I just want to smack the fuck out of her, because you're not about to single out my son. Especially not when I work at the fucking school and I work with some of those same kindergartners, and them little motherfuckers can't sit still for more than 25 seconds for me to read a fucking 4-page book. Like, so you're not about to sit here and tell me, like, make it seem like you're singling my son out. And then she gonna have the fucking nerve to say, while she was doing her meditation time, because she's the guidance counselor, right? But this bitch is a fucking, what you call them, motherfucking Buddhist motherfuckers that just be in they zen shit. She really one of them motherfuckers. So she do like a little in every fucking kindergarten classroom once a week. So she wanna fucking tell me that while she was doing one of her meditation times, Aiden was laying on the desk and a little girl crawled in her lap into the fetal position because she just couldn't concentrate because Aiden was laying on the desk. Suck a motherfucking dick, okay? Because like that, I don't care about that. And then she gonna keep bringing it up. Like literally, me and Jose's mother was about to jump this bitch. Like, shut up! Like, you stop talking about my son like that. Stop trying to single him out. Like, it got to a point that I just had to Like, at this point, I'm done talking to you. Now I'm talking to the principal. Literally, this is what I did. At this point, I'm done talking to you. Now I'm gonna talk to the principal, because why the fuck you even here anyway? It's between his teacher and the principal. Like, so the shit that she was saying was just irrelevant. Like, bitch, suck a dick, get out my face. Who gives a fuck about your meditation time? Like, so we just ended up switching Aiden's kindergarten class. And again, I'm gonna say I work at the school, so I know how these motherfucking kindergartners is. And in the after school program, it's kindergarten, first, second, and third. And some of them fucking third graders can't sit still for 25 seconds for me to read the first page of a book. So, like, don't try to fucking single my son out. But that made me think about when I was in kindergarten. Now, when I was in kindergarten, I was like really shy. And duh, I was in kindergarten. But like I said, my cousins went to that same school. So I was in kindergarten, and my cousins was in kindergarten class right across the hall from me. So I used to, what are you looking at me like that for, buddy? So I used to cry a lot in kindergarten, just because, like, I wanted to be with my godparents, and I wanted to be with my nana, because I just didn't want to be in school, which is regular. Even though I had went to pre-K, I still was like crying every day in kindergarten. And I used to stand at the door and open my teacher's door and cry and look across the room, because my cousins was twins, Birdie and I was twins, and they happened to be in the same kindergarten class, which I don't even know how that shit was possible. They should separated all of us. So they had each other, and I didn't have anybody, and I literally always used to stand at the door, and I can remember this. Y'all know how things that really impact you like that stay on your brain forever. It's like a time stamp. I used to stand at the door and cry, like, like cry for like a half of the day until nap time. We still had nap time in kindergarten. So I can remember my kindergarten teacher used to be like so upset with me, like so upset that she would like push me in the classroom, close the door, go outside, knock on the teacher door next to her, and like talk about me like I wouldn't hear it. Now, I never would tell my nana this, and I never would tell my godparents this, because like I really didn't want no big thing to happen. Like no big, I'm guessing I didn't want no big thing to happen, because I just never told them. Like, I just can remember feeling scared to tell them, and I can't remember thinking that I was scared. I can just remember feeling scared to tell them for some reason. For one day, Birdie came home and she was saying that Mariah cried every single day in her teacher class. And my nana was like, well, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Is somebody touching you? That's the first thing my nana used to say. Is somebody touching you? Because we, of course, had a bathroom inside our kindergarten classroom. And I can remember saying, no, I'm okay. But every single day, I would cry. And it got to a point where my kindergarten teacher called my grandmother complaining. And so when I got home, I got in trouble. My nana was yelling at me. She's like, you too big for this shit. You're 5 years old. As a matter of fact, I was 6 years old, because they ended up skipping me to the right grade, because I wasn't in the right grade. My birthday came in August, and I had turned 6, but I was in pre-K at 5, so I had to skip kindergarten to go to first grade. She's like, you too big for this shit. You're 6 years old. This is ridiculous. This goddamn lady calling me. I gotta be at work. Now she wanna set a conference. Who the fuck gonna go with you to school? So even though my mother, y'all know my mother was on drugs when I was younger, even though she was on drugs, if we ever needed her to go to the school and my father was unavailable and my nana was unavailable, she would go. Lean it all, bitch. Lean it all. She would fucking be there when it had something to do with me or Shaeja. Well, really me, because I was the one in school most of the time while she was on drugs. And that's why I thought about this story with Aiden, because like I just felt I could understand why she did what she did, because I wanted to fuck that bitch up today. But so she was there. So it was a Saturday. Now I need to start telling y'all stories about when my mother was on drugs, because it was ridiculous. I used to go to my godparents' house Friday through Sunday every single weekend. It was not a weekend that passed that I didn't go to their house. My godparents were my great aunt and my great uncle, so it wasn't like nothing for me to go to their house. That was my father's aunt and my father's uncle, and they decided to be my godparents. But every time I would go to my godparents' house, they would send me home back to the projects with money and food and snacks and dolls and whatever I wanted to bring from the house. So my mother used to come every night, every Sunday night, like clockwork, you know, hit me up for a little bit of cash. Y'all, it's not as bad as it sounds. Like I keep telling y'all, my mother was on drugs. It is what it is. I don't have no resentment. I love that hoe today. So she came over like clockwork that Sunday night and she got whatever she was gonna get from my nana. Was like, Shanique, you need to go to Mariah's school tomorrow because she having issues with her teacher. She won't stop crying, blah, 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 blah. Explained to her the situation, and my mother was like, okay, I'll be there. What time is the conference? So the conference was at like 11. It was morning because I cannot believe I can remember all this. I remember we had morning meeting, you know, we did the rug circle time and stuff. I remember playing in a dollhouse, which means we probably had sinners. And then I also remember snack, and snack usually came like an hour and a half before lunch, and lunch used to be like 12:30, 1 o'clock. So I'm pretty sure it was like around 11:30. My battery is dying. Please don't die, please don't die. So I'm sure it was like around 11:30. Before my mother came in, I was doing my usual. I was at the door crying, and she did her usual. She pushed me back into class, she closed the door, and she proceeded to go outside and talk to the teacher next door. But during this conversation, I stayed at the door, and I overheard the bitch say, I can't stand this little girl. Every single day she is crying. I don't care if you have an issue with a little kid. The fact that you are saying that within earshot, like, I don't like a lot of my kids in my class, like, they annoying as fuck, but in earshot, they would never hear me say that, because that could ruin a child. Like, could you imagine if a little kid heard you say, oh, I can't stand her, or I can't stand him? Like, that's ridiculous. So I started crying even more, and just like, I don't know, like clockwork, my mother motherfucking came. They called the office. The office called to the intercom in the classroom. They was like, Miss Dortch's coming up, and the teacher was like, okay, blah blah blah. So my mother comes up. My mother got like, she's gonna fucking kill me for this, but I will never forget it. She on this baggy white t-shirt that was too big for her because she was skinny. You know, she was on drugs. She had her hair in this tight fucking roll. It looked like she put a fucking sponge roller in her bang, and her shit was tight as hell, and she had 2 cornrows going to the back. But my mother always been pretty, so it was fine. So she came up in there, she sat down on one of the little chairs, and she was like, oh my motherfucking God. Like, my mother did not care. Like, she used to curse like in front of anybody. She's very more professional now, and she got more professional over the years. But she's like, damn, what the fuck, this shit little as hell. So she sit down, I sit down, my teacher sit at her desk, and my teacher proceeds to tell her what I do every day. When I'm at the door for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm not doing work during that time. I'm not playing with the kids. I'm just standing at the door crying. And my mother was like going on and on, like, well, she's only 6 and this is her first year like without being in a class with her cousins, because in pre-K I was in class with Birdie and Sahad, and like they going back and forth. But this whole time I'm crying and like shaking, and my mother like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, she literally was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And like, oh my God, I can remember like like, it was so sad now that I think about it. Like, I was so heartbroken that I heard this ugly bitch say that about me. Like, she was like, and my teacher was like, I don't know what's wrong with her. This is usually what she does around this time. Just like that. Like, this is usually what she does around this time. So my mother was like, just give me a second. So she took me in the hallway, and she got down on her knees, and she was like, you better fucking tell me what's going on. Is she touching you? Is she touching you? And I'm like, no. And she was like, well, what the fuck is wrong, Mariah? What the fuck is wrong? So I'm like, she can't stand me. Stuttering, trying to get it out, and I finally got it out. Bitch, well, I motherfucking heard that. She stood up. She like, okay. She opened the door. Now, she ain't just opened the door. She opened the door, and it slammed and hit against the wall. And she walked up to this fucking lady. She said, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bitch. You told my daughter you can't fucking stand her? And my teacher was like so caught off guard, like, no, I never said that to her. I never said that to Mariah. So my mother like, Mariah, did she fucking tell you she can't fucking stand you? And I was like, she said it to the teacher. She said it to the teacher. So my mother was like, oh, so my motherfucking daughter is a liar? So she a liar now, bitch? Just like this, y'all. When I tell y'all my mother, oh my God, she was the truth. Like, y'all don't even understand. You wish your mother was like this when you was going to school. Because my mother was putting that bitch in her place. So, and I'm just sitting there like, So she's like, you trying to tell me my motherfucking daughter a liar and she's saying this shit in your face? So the teacher was like, I don't know what she thinks she heard, but I would never say that. The bitch was lying through her fucking teeth because she 100% said that shit and I didn't hear shit. Like she 100% said that shit to the teacher. So my mother goes next door, knock on the teacher door. The teacher comes out. She's like, what's going on? Now at this point we in a hallway and my teacher's out there. I'm out there because my mother grabbed me by my motherfucking hand, pulled me out. That teacher out there, my mother's teacher out there. I mean, my mother, the other teacher, and my teacher out there. So she was like, my daughter said, she said to you that she can't fucking stand her. Now, the lady never confirmed, but the look on her face as soon as the words left my mother's mouth, that's all my mother needed. My mother turned around. My mother's hands is big. Y'all know my mother almost 6 feet. Her hands is big as fuck. My mother took this lady head and she was like, you fucking bitch. And she mushed the fucking lady head to the fucking door. And like, it was a rat ski. Like, the lady ain't what no static. Like, she was so scared. And the other teacher was like, wait, Miss Dutch, you can't do that. You can't do that. And my mother like, that fucking bitch. How dare you say that about a 6-year-old? And you fucking sitting up here talking about it with her? I should beat your ass too. Just like this in the lady face. She's like, you gotta calm down. I'm gonna call security. And my mother was like, bitch, call security. I don't give a fuck. I ain't got no address. Where the fucking cops gonna look for me at? Bitch, bitch, I be in the fucking street. Like, my mother was like, hey, why y'all? Like, the lady went into the classroom. She called security. Security come up the stairs. Spencer security wasn't shit. Like, some fat motherfuckers coming up the stairs like, you gotta go, Miss Dort, you gotta go. My dog, Mr. Brown, was there. I told him my mother had a good relationship with Mr. Brown because they all went to school together. And so, of course, Mr. Brown tried to figure out what happened. He asked me, and I wasn't lying. I told him exactly what happened. But, what?
I said Mr. Brown was hitting doggy style.
Shut the fuck up. Of course I wasn't gonna lie. Like, she shouldn't have never said that. Like, that really crushed my shit. So much so that I still remember it today. Like, I would never do that so a little kid could fucking hear me. Like, I'm trying to tell you, I don't like a handful of the motherfucking kids in my class. But, like, I would never say that so that they can hear me. So, like, she fucked up when she said she can't fucking stand me. And my mother had to mush the bitch. So, yeah, that's what happened when my mother mushed my motherfucking teacher. She really like slammed her fucking head against the door, y'all. She really mushed her. She took her fucking big ass basketball lady hands and mushed that bitch head to the door. And my teacher, my kindergarten teacher, had a little bean head because she used to have this slick cut, and then she had like these thick curls right here. But like everything else was like a 27 piece, if you know what a 27 piece is. That's what it used to look like. It was like blonde and like this fire red almost, and it was just mixed. And that little shit got pushed right to the door. But like, Mr. Brown has never banned my mother from the school. Like, my mother did some shit. My mother even worked at the school after I had to fight with the girl in the bathroom when I went back to school there. Yes, y'all ain't fucking know my mother had a job there. Yes, bitch. My mother my mother better than your mother. But yeah, so that's it for today's story time. Hope you guys liked it. That was relieving. I didn't think about that in so long, but the bitch, oh my god, that got cussing made me think about it, because I'm gonna have to kill that bitch over my baby. Don't fucking mess with my son, bitch. Thank you guys for watching this video, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up because you fucking liked it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because you want to see more story times, right? And I love you guys much. I will talk to you later. Bye.